think what set me apart from her and what most agents still don't comprehend to this day is
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate? To get the answers, we interview the top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. If you would like one-on-one access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Elite Agent Secrets show. Today we're joined by Julia Groves. She has been in real estate for the last 10 years, a multi-million-dollar producer for all of those 10 years. She owns her own company and ultimately absolutely loves what she does in the world of real estate. Today we're going to be discussing some hot topics, some market trends, which is interest rates, current market conditions, and how to win a bid. Julia, thank you for agreeing to come on the show. Share some of your backdoor secrets to especially what's going on in the market today. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Thanks for having me. I know interest rates are a hot topic right now. I've been watching them steadily rise, and I've watched my buyers steadily decline. The question I get asked daily is it still a good time to buy? And most agents are going to tell you yes, and people look at us like we're crazy. But if you buy at 6%, you're basically marrying the house and dating the rate that you have. Because in my mind, what goes up must come down, and there's going to be an opportunity to refinance the house later on down the road and kind of recoup some of your money.
I've got a good question for you. Before we go down that path, the first question is, 10 years ago, you got into real estate.
Gosh, you're stealing my thunder there,
Andrew. You've got to jump in because we've got to give people context, Julia. Before you start going, I know I've got all this knowledge. You've got to give people context. You got into real estate 10 years. So take us back 10 years and one day ago. Why'd you get into real estate? Take us on a bit of a journey of your 10 years in real estate, productions and your hurdles.
I got into real estate surely by accident. I was a stay-at-home wife at the time, and a lady that I went to high school with had a brokerage. And she posted on Facebook one day that she was looking for agents. And I actually sat there and I thought, well, shit, why not? I'm not doing anything else. So I went down there and I talked to her and kind of got the scoop on what all real estate entailed. Took my test, passed it with flying colors, and almost beat out her top producer that first year. In fact, the top producer tried to get me fired like 4 times. She's like, oh my God, you have got to go. Like, I cannot deal with you. Because she was used to being the top dog in the office. And then here I come as a brand new rookie and just about blew her out of the water. So I got into it by accident, but realized that I really enjoyed it because it's something different every day. I meet new people every day. It's a new problem to fix every day. So it's been pretty interesting, and I've been in it this long, and I think, well, this is why, because it's a challenge and it's different every single day.
You know, I think one of the things to give people also context, when you beat out the top producer, what were you doing differently than they were if they were the top producer? Or what is considered a top producer in the office at that time, to give everybody a little bit of context? Look, we're talking about 20, 30, 40 deals. Or are we talking like 100 deals?
At that year, I'd have to go back and look because I keep all my numbers. I'm pretty anal like that. But I think that first year as a rookie, I did almost $4 million in sales. And she was doing probably 5 at the time. But that was, of course, 10 years ago, too.
That's pretty good.
And so I think what set me apart from her and what most agents still don't comprehend to this day is this right here is the best tool you will ever own. And if you don't answer it, you're not going to make money.
That's true.
So I constantly sit on this phone and people will be like, oh my God, how'd you answer so fast? Are you like sitting on it? Well, pretty much. I don't go anywhere without this little tool right here. I take it to the shower with me. I cannot tell you how many times I have stepped out of the shower to actually talk to somebody about a house and then get back in the shower. So if you don't work it don't work for you.
When you said 4 million, 5 million, what's the average price point? You're not going to tell us it's 4 million, are you?
Oh, no, no,
One
no.
home.
No, and this is something that tickles me still to this day, 10 years later, is you have these agents, and it doesn't matter what state, city they're in, say, oh, I did 15 million in sales. And I think to myself, well, how much were those homes? And I come to find out they're selling the higher price homes, so they're only selling 5 a year, where somebody like me that's doing 8, 9 million a year has sold about 50 or more. So really, which one of you is working harder at that point? It's the one doing the 50 deals.
Correct. So that's exactly why I asked, because we're more impressed by transaction number than we are volume of production. Because, like you said, some people will go, oh, they sell in, Beverly Hills did 100 million, sold one home. We haven't actually had that happen. That's a very extreme example, but we like to get a bit of context because you don't need systems to sell 5 homes at $1 million each. You do need systems to sell 50, right?
Exactly.
And that's why I wanted to ask that question, because it's important, especially for our audience listening, to be like, you aren't selling 5 homes a year, you're selling 50 homes a year. And
exactly.
And something we touched on pre-pressing record was actually the fact that you're solo. You've been doing
and when we say solo, we legitimately mean solo, no assistant, no TC, right?
None. In fact, I can turn this a little bit. These are all my files. So I keep up with them all by myself. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm a little OCD. And I get aggravated working deals with agents that have assistants because you never know who you're supposed to talk to. And then when you're trying to relay that back to somebody or the customer calls, they're frustrated. So in my mind, I know exactly what's going on, where in the process we're at. So when they call, I have that answer. I'm not having to ask an assistant. I'm not having to ask so-and-so, hey, where are we at on this file? I automatically know. And it makes, in my mind, makes me look better to the client because they feel like I'm more involved in that transaction, that I'm in it to win it for them. And so I've kind of stayed like that.
It's funny you mention about knowing what the fuck is going on and dealing with people. And I think one of the things that this will come off with your customers too, or your clients, people who are interested by selling, is your market, what you're dealing with, because you have an iron in all those fires, and you've remained in touch with kind of the process, how it works. You give accurate timelines, deadlines, what's going on, and that will, I imagine, benefit you quite nicely. Although it's too much work for us, we definitely have TCs for sure. That was one of the first things. I'm not even concerned about it. It was let's get rid of this shit right away.
Yeah, but I think we have to give context. The TC that we have is also a past real estate agent. She really understands the mechanics and the communication and our expectation for her.
Right.
Which means that she is integrated into our team. She's just not a TC that does the paperwork. She's integrated into the team, and she's part of the transaction from day one.
Right.
Right. So they don't know any different. Our clients don't know any different. They can come to me or her, and we're always on the same page. We have a recap. We have a system in place basically for us to be able to do it this way. Oh
yeah, and it works for some people. It really does. Me, I just cannot turn loose of something. It's a control thing in my head.
The amount of high producing solo agents that say this to us, that we've spoken with, whether on the show, off the show, people we know in our network, it's a lot, because people get into these habits of I could do it best. And the hard thing is, but one of the most liberating things is at one point just letting go and being I know they're going to do it worse than me. And it's whether you can get comfortable with that, which is something that process, but that's the truth. They're never going to do it like you do it. Just get over that, because they're not as committed to it as you are. It's your business, right? This is your business at the end of the day. Hey, I just wanted to jump in here and let you know, if you would like access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below. Now back to the show. So with that being said, I want to dive into your first topic, controversy. around this first topic. Oh, we're going to have a Mystic Meg moment with your predictions here, Julia. So the first topic is interest rates, which is obviously a very hot topic at the moment.
Oh, it's so hot right now.
So tell us your thoughts. Why is interest rates your first topic you want to run us through?
It's a daily question. I get this question daily, either from agents or from people I'm talking to. And as soon as somebody finds out you're a real estate agent, that's the first thing that they want to talk about. And trust me, I'm not one to watch the news religiously or keep up with politics, which I probably should, but I just don't have time to deal with all that menagerie. But no, interest rates, they keep going up. So it throws out a lot of your buyers because they qualified at a lower interest rate. And all of a sudden this interest rate has gone up and now they don't qualify because it's going to throw off all their debt to incomes and all those magical numbers that your lenders look at. So that's kind of been a difficult thing right now is the people that were qualified, they don't qualify now. Now the people that can pay that higher interest rate are kind of hanging in the balance right now because they're like, well, the rates are just so high. And those are the ones I have to go back and tell, okay, well, let's marry the house and let's just date this rate for a little bit. Because what goes up has to come down. I mean, that's just a law of average. It's going to come down at some point, and you can refinance at that time and kind of recoup some of that higher interest that you paid, so to speak. Trying to think what else.
I love what you said there. Let's marry the house, but let's date the interest rate. I'm going to use that line because I really like this, right? Because if we look at averages and we look at, let's say, the last 10 years, and then we look at the last 20 years, the last 30 years of interest rates, okay? If you're buying at 2, there's a difference. If you're buying at 4, there's a difference. But if you're going between 4 and 6, yes, you have less buying power. But like what you said, what goes up must come down. Marry the house, refi later, right? Pay a little bit. You're not going to be in this mortgage for the next 30 years. The odds are you're going to sell that house in the next 5 to 7 years, right? Every major life event. However, let's put this into perspective. An average homeowner in the last 12 months gained $64,000 in equity across all the states. An average homeowner, right? Across the states. So are you more concerned about paying $200, $300 more per month or $100, $200 per month? Right? Let's be pessimistic, $300 per month, right? Which would still equate, let's say $300 would equate to $3,600 per year, okay? To trade that off for $64K in equity? I mean, my answer is yes, because I'm net positive 60,400, right? Give or take. So once you start making that logical number, and I'm sure you do this with your clients as well, the interest rates going up is a good thing, whether we like it or not. It's a good thing, right? First of all, we got to combat inflation in some shape, way, or form. I think we're like way too late about it, increasing the interest rates. Okay. But with this housing market, I'm not sure how your market is, but my market down here in Southeast Florida, now I don't have 15 offers to battle against. Maybe I have 2 or 3. So getting that phone answer from the listing agent is a hell of a lot easier. So it's actually more advantageous for you as a buyer because the markets are quote unquote evening out, right? So I think all of this is really tied in. So the line of marry the house, date the interest rate. I like that. It is so ideal no matter how we slice this scenario, right? Yeah. So as an agent, for you, it's an opportunity, especially if you're heavy on the buy side.
I'm more of a buyer's agent, so.
Yeah, perfect. So you're able to probably get the more serious people into houses a lot easier, and you don't have to do the 20, 30, 50K over asks anymore, escalation clauses, waiving of financing contingencies, inspections. It's literally what a normal market should be.
Exactly.
Now, my normal market is about 50 to 60,000 in inventory, Right now we're about 24, 25, which means we're heading in the right direction. But that means that these sellers no longer are dealing all the cards, right?
Oh, no. In fact, I bought a house this year, and I know for a fact that I overpaid for this house because of the dang market conditions. Everybody inflated their prices. I ended up paying for the survey, my own title policy. I had to pay all of that myself, but I beat out 7 other people. And I think, well, I'm just going to marry the house and I'll recoup this somewhere down the road. But
okay, so let me ask you this. From somebody who's savvy, you bought a house. Is this an investment property or your personal property?
primary is mine.
Okay, so primary property. Okay, so the play is a little bit different, I'm assuming, right? But you married the house. You know you overpaid for it currently. But no matter if we are in a recession or not, at the time of this episode, we are officially in a quote unquote recession.
Oh, yeah.
You know you're still going to make that money back in equity because during pretty much every recession other than 2, house prices have continuously gone up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go ahead and move to another property, now you can leverage against it.
Exactly.
And then you can rent it, which means you have more cash flow. So are you planning on keeping this property for the next 30 years?
Probably not. I'll keep it for a little while, and then at whatever point I decide that this ain't it, I'll either rent it or turn around and sell it. And that's just
perfect. So let's say you do want to sell it. Are you worried that you paid 10, 20 grand more for the property right now?
No, not really. I'm
exactly.
one of those, it is what it is. You either want it or you don't. I mean, that's kind of equates to shit or get off the pot. I mean, you either do or you don't. So
I really want you to just say something like, no, because I got like a fucking badass pool and that's why I bought this place. I'd be like, I just got this sick car with this house. So like, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. And out of the neighborhood I'm in, it holds its value. I have a brand new neighborhood to the left of my house. And the values in there are like $345. The one to the right of me just sold for $365. Now, did I pay that much? No, definitely not. But it'll hold its value. So I'm not just too terribly worried.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you would like one-on-one access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below.